Japanese mythical creatures you never knew existed Part 1.
Japanese mythical creatures you never knew existed, Part 1. Kappa are reptilian humanoids who live across the rivers and streams in Japan. The English translation of Kappa is literally river child. Despite being the size of a small child, Kappas are known to be stronger than a grown man. They love sumo wrestling, cucumbers, and human anuses. Kappas also have a mischievous side. They're known to pass gas in public and look up women's kimonos. If a kappa ever tries to go after your shirikodama, or the mystical ball of flesh inside your anus, just bow! Kappa are so polite, they'll bow too. This causes the bowl of water on their head, which is the source of their power, to spill out. This greatly weakens the kappa. After that, the kappa will be your best friend for life. Like for Part 2. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, Part 2. Makuragaeshi are a child ghosts that haunt specific rooms in a house. Their name literally means pillow flipper. They are found throughout Japan, but depending on the region, what these ghosts actually do differs. As their name suggests, the major activity these ghosts perform is pillow flipping. It was thought in ancient times that while you're sleeping, your soul leaves your body, so if your pillow is flipped, your soul can't come back. These ghosts are quite mischievous and will walk through ashes and leave their little dirty footprints everywhere in the house. So cute. While most accounts of Makuragaeshi are harmless, some accounts say that Makuragaeshi will sit on your chest while you're sleeping and squeeze the air out of your lungs. In other cases, they can cause sleep paralysis. Some say if you ever see a Makuragaeshi, you will lose consciousness and the Makuragaeshi will steal your soul. But there's no need to worry, they'll probably just flip your pillows around. Like for Part 3. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, Part 3. If you're easily scared, keep scrolling. Jorogumo are mythical creatures in the form of spiders. This spider can shapeshift into the form of a woman in order to catch their prey. Their prey being humans. Their favorite prey is young, handsome men. A Joroguro will lure a man into its house and use its venom to slowly kill the man over several days. I think the scariest part about the Jorogumo is that it's real. That's right. The Jorogumo is a real spider known as the golden orb weaver in English. During my time in Japan, I saw these spiders all over. Like for Part 4. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, Part 4. I hope this doesn't get taken down. So, from a distance, the being named Shirime looks like an average human being. The name Shirime literally means but eye. Can you guess where I'm going with this? So once you get a closer look at this creature, you'll realize it has no facial features. But it does have a large eye that shines like the sun in its butt. This being's only purpose is to hang around cities and scare unsuspecting people. Quite the exhibitionist. Like for Part 5. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, Part 5. This one's honestly pretty sad. When a woman dies during childbirth or shortly after, anxiety for her baby may prevent her soul from passing on. These unfortunate souls wander the world of the living seeking help that can no longer be given. In cases where both the mother and child died, Ubume can appear carrying a bundled corpse in its arms. When approached by a stranger, Ubume may try to give the bundled corpse away. If the stranger accepts, the Ubume will vanish, but the stranger will be forced to carry the weight of the corpse until it gets heavier and heavier, and eventually crushes the individual. Like for Part 6. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, Part 6. In places that were once blood-soaked gory battlefields, a certain tree can be found. When a regular tree soaks up blood from casualties of war, it becomes a juboko. Juboko look like normal trees until you get a little closer and you see the human remains it has grown over. By that time, it's too late. These trees will swoop up unsuspecting passerbys and suck the blood out of them using their tube-like twigs. If you manage to do damage to these trees, they'll bleed. Some say Juboko have the faces of their victims as knots on their bark, but it's probably best that you not get too close to see if that's actually true. Juboko can be seen in Inuyasha, Call of Duty, Zombies Mobile, and Grimm. Like for Part 7. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, Part 7. This one is truly disgusting. Like cockroaches, Akaname detest any clean, tidy household. These small, goblin-like creatures only appear in the dirtiest of bathrooms. The English translation of Akaname is filth licker. You can see these creatures at night, happily licking up any slime, sludge, hair, grease, mold, or mildew that are in those hard-to-reach places. Aka in Akaname actually has two different meanings. Aka can mean either red or dirt, which is why a lot of Akaname are seen with red skin. Would you like these disgusting creatures to have a permanent residence in your home? Let me know in the comments. Like for part 8. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, part 7. Umibozu are huge, pitch-black priests that rise from the ocean to capsize ships. While sailing on calm seas, some sailors report the Umibozu rising up from the ocean. Strong winds, a tumultuous sea, and a capsized boat are almost always what follows. Little is known about the origin of these beings, but some say they are the spirits of dead monks whose bodies were thrown out to sea, unable to rest. Though these beings are called monks, they have no confirmed connection to religion, and they're indiscriminate of their victims. Meaning, you could be next. And Umibozu can be seen in Naruto, and the name Umibozu can be seen in quite a few different animes. Do you know which animes they are? Let me know in the comments. Like for part 7. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, part 8. Actually, if you're an anime fan, you know it, you just don't know that you know it yet. The Kamaitachi is a weasel that has learned to ride the wind. The English translation of Kamaitachi is sickle weasel. Their hair is thick and prickly like a hedgehog, and on their hands they have nails like sickles. They use these sickles to cut people's limbs, but the cuts are usually painless. Some people say the Kamaitachi cuts with such precision that they can slice entire chunks off of a victim without spilling a drop of blood. Kamaitachi have also inspired tons of creatures in pop culture, like Sneasel in Pokemon, Kyukimon in Digimon, and Kamatari in Naruto. This of course only scratches the surface of these cute little creatures' unknown fame. Like for part 9. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, part 9. Isogashi is a blue creature with big floppy ears, a huge nose, and a large tongue that runs around frantically, as if it had something to do. Isogashi means busy in English. If you're ever possessed by this monster, you'll be overcome with a sense of restlessness, unable to relax. Isogashi feeds off this energy. Fortunately, although it may seem unpleasant, it's really not. Isogashi's victims are honestly relieved to get things done and feel a sense of security. Would you ever want to be possessed by Isogashi? If so, what's the first thing you'd want to get done? Let me know in the comments. Like for part 10. Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed, part 10. Yuki Onna means snow woman in English. As with a lot of yokai, depending on the region, her behavior differs. So today we're going to be talking about 2 ways that she kills her victims. In some regions, the Yuki Onna is seen to be sort of a vampire. She'll wander the snow-covered mountains and forests looking for victims to drain their life force. She is said to kill her victims by first freezing them and then sucking out their life energy through their mouth. In other legends, she's seen as a lonely traveler who travels by the wind. She will shout, "Give me water, hot or cold." If she's given hot water, she will melt and disappear, and if she's given cold water, she will swell in size. As I said in the beginning, these are only 2 of the 4 versions I've seen of the Yuki Onna, so if you'd like to know the other 2, like this video and leave a comment letting me know. See ya! Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. They walk without sound. Their irises change shape in the morning, noon, and night, and they have a habit of licking blood. They are Bakeneko. Bakeneko translates to changed cat. When a regular cat reaches an advanced age, they turn into a Bakeneko. Cats who are also treated poorly by their owners can also change to Bakeneko. Some stories say that Bakeneko can shapeshift. That means that a cat that lived a long life could evolve into a Bakeneko, kill their owner, and take their bodies. You would never do that, right? Other behaviors include speaking human languages, possessing humans, and attacking travelers in the mountains accompanied by wolves. And wearing a napkin on their head and dancing. Bakeneko can be seen in Soul Eater, Bleach, Mononoke, and many more. That's it for today. See you next time. Bye! Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. Kaze no Kami means wind spirit. He is a malevolent, invisible spirit that flies across Japan, blowing out yellow breath. Whoever breathes in his breath will be struck with sickness and bad luck. Although he's invisible, he's often seen in artworks looking like this, or this. The origin of Kaze no Kami is thought to be the yellow dust that coached Japan in the early spring. It's known to cause respiratory problems, and combined with the varying temperatures of spring, can cause colds. Before modern medicine, these colds could result in death, so people had a huge fear of this wind. This is also why the word kaze means both wind and cold in Japanese. Kaze no Kami can also be called kamikaze. Kamikaze was the name of the Japanese special attack units in World War II. It's also the name of the typhoon that destroyed Mongol ships in the 13th century and saved Japan from invasion. Okay, that's all for today. See you next time! Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. When a woman gives in to temptation to steal money or valuable possessions, their arms grow long, and hundreds of birds' eyes appear all over their bodies. These women are called dodomeki. Dodomeki means many-eyed demon. This yokai was developed because in Japanese, to have long arms means someone who likes stealing a lot. And the copper coins that were used at the time this yokai was developed were often called bird's eyes. And thus the Dodomeki was born. This creature stands 10 feet tall and can emit bursts of flames from its body. Versions of the Dodomeki can be seen in Yokai Watch, Ri Monster, and Onmyoji. A very loose interpretation, if I might add. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye! Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. Inugami are dog spirits. An inugami is made when a regular dog is killed in a terrible way. For example, starvation with food just out of reach or burying the dog alive. The person wanting to use the spirit will then cut off the dog's head. The spirit will then serve the human forever. Inugami are known for their possession ability. They can possess people and even cows and horses by entering through the ear. Those who are possessed by an inugami feel pain in their chest, feet, and arms. They can suddenly sway without warning and bark like a dog. Inugami are also known to be fiercely independent and can actually turn on their owners. When an inugami can't go back into their regular bodies due to the decomposition, they will kill their owners and take their bodies for their own. Inugami can be seen in many different animes like Gintama, Inuyasha, and Yokai Watch. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye! Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. Raiju are the pets of the Shinto thunder god, Raijin. They're said to be mostly docile until a thunderstorm starts. Then they run amok, leaping around forests and buildings. The scorch marks made by lightning are said to actually be made from a Raiju's claws. Raiju have a habit of sleeping in people's belly buttons. This led to the superstition of laying on your stomach during a thunderstorm so you don't get struck by lightning. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye!
Thank you for watching. And don't forget to leave a comment what TikTok complication you want next.